Hi students, this is Botany PSR. In the previous class, I explained about xylem. Today, I will explain about phloem. What is phloem? What are the components of phloem? All these points we have to discuss today. Okay, right. Phloem is also called leptome, whereas xylem is also called hydrome. Phloem is also called leptome. This phloem is a living complex tissue, but xylem is a dead complex tissue. Next, this phloem is useful for conduction of food materials from leaves to other parts of the plant body, that is stem and leaves. So that is downward transport. So useful for conduction of food materials from leaves to other parts of the plant body, that is stem and root. What are the components of phloem? There are 5 components in phloem: sieve cells, sieve tube elements. Both sieve cells and sieve tube elements together called sieve cells. Sieve elements. Sieve cells and sieve tube elements together called sieve elements. Both sieve cells and sieve tube elements are living components. Companion cells are also living. Phloem fibers are dead components. Phloem parenchyma, living component. The only dead component in phloem is phloem fibers. Very, very important point. Fibers are always dead. Parenchyma is always living. The only dead component in phloem is phloem fibers. The only living component in xylem is xylem parenchyma. Try to remember those points, my dear students. Right. Gymnosperms contain sieve cells and albuminous cells. Gymnosperms does not contain. Gymnosperms lack sieve tube elements and companion cells. Very, very important point. Gymnosperms contain sieve cells and albuminous cells. Albuminous cells are the component of phloem, not the component of xylem. Next, gymnosperms lack sieve tube elements and companion cells. Very, very important point, this one. Right. Cell wall of phloem fibers are made up of lignin. Why? Because these are the dead cells. No, phloem fibers are dead cells. That's why these are made up of lignin. Whereas phloem parenchyma cell walls are made up of cellulose. Right. So number of components means 5. Sieve cells, sieve tube elements, companion cells, phloem fibers, phloem parenchyma. Both sieve cells and sieve tube elements together called sieve elements. All phloem is a living complex tissue except phloem fibers. The only dead component in phloem is phloem fibers. Very, very important point. Okay. Now, one by one we have to discuss. Okay. Sieve elements. What are sieve elements? Both sieve cells and sieve tube elements are called sieve elements. What are the characteristics of sieve elements? That is, characteristics of sieve cells and sieve tube elements. This is the sieve area. Inside that, number of numerous sieve pores are present. So that is, presence of sieve areas is the characteristic feature of both sieve cells and sieve tube elements. Okay, this is the sieve area which contain many minute sieve pores. These sieve pores are useful for translocation of food. Right. Initially, these are nucleated, but at maturity they become enucleated or enucleated. That is, nucleus will disappear. Initially nucleated, later they become enucleated, which cells both sieve cells and sieve tube elements. But nucleus is disappeared, but they are having cytoplasm. So these are considered as living cells. Don't consider as dead cells. Though nucleus is disappeared at maturity, can they be called as living cells? Yes. Why? Because they are having cytoplasm. Right. Initially these are nucleated, but at maturity they become enucleated, also called anucleated. Enucleated means without nucleus, but having cytoplasm and a large central vacuole. As they are having cytoplasm, they are considered as living cells. Don't call them as dead cell. So, what are the characteristics? Considered as living cells only. Don't consider as dead cells. What are the characteristic features of sieve cells and sieve tube elements? Means presence of sieve areas. Each sieve area is having many minute sieve pores. These sieve pores are many minute pores. Many small pores called sieve pores. One sieve area contain many number of sieve pores. Right. First one, sieve cells. This is the sieve cell and this is called sieve area, which contain sieve pores. Sieve area which contain many minute sieve pores. Right. These are elongated, spindle shape with tapering ends. Tapering ends means pointed ends. See the shape. Pointed ends. Elongated, spindle shape with pointed ends. Next, sieve areas are present on cell wall. Sieve areas are present on their cell walls. Initially these are nucleated, but at maturity they become enucleated. Can they be considered as living cells? Yes. Why? Because they are having cytoplasm. Though nucleus is disappeared, they possess cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is the main arena for cellular activities. Right. These sieve cells are found in Pteridophyta and Gymnosperms. Phylogenetically, that is evolutionary, sieve cells are compared to tracheids. Why? Because the main water conducting elements in Pteridophyta Gymnosperms means tracheids. The main food conducting elements in Pteridophyta Gymnosperms means sieve cells. That's why phylogenetically sieve cells are compared to tracheids. So these are considered as primitive type. Why? Because these are found in primitive plants like Pteridophyta Gymnosperms. And unspecialized or unorganized sieve areas are present. Unspecialized or unorganized sieve areas are present. Why? Because these sieve areas are present on cell wall. These are so called unspecialized sieve areas, also called unorganized sieve areas. So what is the shape? Means elongated, spindle shaped with tapering ends. Initially these are nucleated, later they become enucleated, yet they can be considered as living cells. These are found in Pteridophyta Gymnosperms. The main food conducting elements in Pteridophyta Gymnosperms means sieve cells. The main water conducting elements in Pteridophyta Gymnosperms means tracheids. That's why phylogenetically sieve cells are compared to tracheids. Presence of sieve cells can be considered as primitive type. What type of sieve areas? These are unspecialized, also called unorganized sieve areas present. So this is about sieve cells. Next, go to sieve tube elements. This is the sieve tube element. This is the sieve pore. This is the sieve tube element. This is the companion cell. These are the phloem parenchyma cells. This is the cross wall. Cross wall. This cross wall is having sieve areas. Presence of sieve areas means presence of sieve pores. So the cross wall having sieve areas is called sieve plate. These sieve plates are found in sieve tube elements. Very, very important. Sieve plates found in sieve tube element. What is a sieve plate? This is the cross wall having sieve area. Cross wall having sieve area or cross wall having sieve pores. That is so called sieve plate. This sieve plate or cross wall shape is biconvex. It may be oblique or transverse. Cross wall may be, septa may be biconvex and it may be transverse or oblique. And food conduction occurs through this is the food conduction. Food material. Food material is transported from leaves to stem and roots. That is downward conduction, downward translocation from leaves to stem and roots. Right. Food is translocated through sieve tube element. This is called companion cell. These cells are called phloem parenchyma cells. These are called sieve pores. These sieve pores are found on cross wall. The cross wall having sieve area or the cross wall having sieve pore is called sieve plate. Shape of sieve plate is biconvex. It may be transverse or it may be oblique. Here I have drawn oblique. Here it is drawn transverse. So that is cross wall or septa is transverse or oblique. Shape of cross wall is, shape of septa is biconvex. Biconvex. What is a sieve plate? Cross wall having sieve pores. These sieve pores are present on septa or cross wall. That is so called sieve plate. Presence of sieve plates found in sieve tube elements. Very, very important. This is one sieve tube element. Above another sieve tube element. Another sieve tube element. So one sieve tube element is present one above the other as a longitudinal series. Many sieve tube elements together called sieve tube. One sieve tube contains many sieve tube elements. Many sieve tube elements are arranged one above the other in a longitudinal series. Many sieve tube elements in a longitudinal series together called sieve tube. These sieve tubes or sieve tube elements found in angiosperms. So presence of sieve tube elements are the characteristic feature of angiosperms. Now, what the shape means? Long tube-like structures, tube-like cells, long tube-like structures, long tube-like cells are called sieve tube elements. Cross wall having sieve areas or cross wall having sieve pores is called sieve plate. Presence of sieve plates found in, that is sieve tube elements found in angiosperms. Specialized or organized sieve areas present. What are specialized sieve areas? If sieve areas are present on cross wall, those are so called specialized sieve areas, also called organized sieve areas. Right. Initially these are also nucleated. At maturity they become enucleated or enucleated. Yet they are considered as living cells only, but there is the presence of cytoplasm. That's why these are considered as living cells. These are found in angiosperms only. The food conducting elements in pteridophyta, sieve cells. The food conducting elements in gymnosperms, sieve cells. The food conducting elements in angiosperms means you have to say sieve tube elements. Many sieve tube elements present one above the other as a longitudinal series together called sieve tube. One sieve tube contains many sieve tube elements. Right, these are found in angiosperms only. Phylogenetically, sieve tube elements are compared to vessels. Why? Because vessels are found in angiosperms. Sieve tube elements found in angiosperms. That's why phylogenetically sieve tube elements are compared to vessels, whereas sieve cells are phylogenetically compared to tracheids. Right. These are considered to be the advanced type or evolved type. Sieve cells are primitive type. Sieve tube elements are considered to be the advanced type. Why we are calling as advanced type? These are found in angiosperms. Sieve cells are found in pteridophytes, gymnosperms. That's why these are considered to be primitive. These sieve tube elements are found in angiosperms. That's why sieve tube elements are considered to be advanced type. Okay? Right. So here, next look at here. Each sieve tube consists of many sieve tube elements which are arranged one above the other in a longitudinal series. So one sieve tube contains many sieve tube elements. Companion cells are always associated with sieve tube elements, both ontogenetically and phylogenetically. Ontogenetically means by development. Phylogenetically means by evolutionary. How it is? See, this is one cell, meristematic cell, so called common meristematic cell. It divides by mitosis. Two cells are formed. This cell is called companion cell. This cell is called sieve tube element. These are the younger condition. Younger condition contain nucleus both in sieve tube element and companion cell. But at maturity, the nucleus of sieve tube element is disappeared. So these are enucleated at maturity, but nucleus of companion cell does not disappear at maturity. So at maturity, the nucleus of sieve cell disappear. True. At maturity, the nucleus of sieve tube element disappear. True. At maturity, the nucleus of companion cell disappear. False. The nucleus of companion cell at maturity does not disappear. Where do you find the disappearance of nucleus? Both in sieve cells and sieve tube elements. So both companion cell and sieve tube element are originated from common meristematic cell, from a common cell called meristematic cell. What is a meristematic cell? Which is able to divide is called meristematic cell. So this companion cell is always associated with sieve tube element. Don't say sieve cell. Companion cell is always associated with sieve tube element. The nucleus of sieve tube element at maturity, it disappeared. So the functions of sieve tube element are under the control of nucleus of companion cell. So the functions of sieve tube element are under the control of nucleus of companion cell. Sister cell of companion cell is sieve tube element. Don't say sieve cell. Right. The functions of sieve tube elements are controlled by nucleus of companion cell. Very, very important point. Companion cells help in maintaining the pressure gradient of translocation of food in sieve tube element. See, food material is transported through sieve tube element. So, which cells help in maintaining the pressure gradient? That is companion cells. Which cells help in maintaining the pressure gradient means companion cells. Companion cells help in maintaining the pressure gradient in translocation of food in the sieve tube element. Very, very important point. Which cells help in maintaining the pressure gradient of translocation of food in sieve tube element means that is companion cells. So that is the functions of sieve tube element are controlled by nucleus of companion cell. Which cells help in pressure gradient? companion cells help in maintaining the pressure gradient of translocation of food in sieve tube element. This is very important point, my dear students. Which cells help in maintaining the pressure gradient? Companion cell. Which cells help in maintaining the pressure gradient of translocation of food in sieve tube element? Companion cell. That is very important point. Next, sieve tube elements and companion cells are connected to pit fields. Why? Because these are having only primary cell wall, no secondary cell wall. So that is, sieve tube element and companion cells are connected to pit fields or primary pit fields, but don't say pits, but not pits present between their common longitudinal walls. This is also very important minute point. The sieve tube element and companion cells are connected to pit fields, but not pits. The sieve tube elements and companion cells are connected to pit fields, but not pits present between their common longitudinal walls. Very important point. Gymnosperms have sieve cells and albuminous cells. These albuminous cells are found in gymnosperms. So, these gymnosperms lack sieve tube elements and companion cells. Gymnosperms possess sieve cells and albuminous cells. Gymnosperms lack sieve tube elements and companion cells. Next, companion cells. These are also elongated, rectangular parenchyma cells. Companion cells are elongated, rectangular parenchyma cells. Companion cells are always associated with sieve tube elements, but not with sieve cells. Companion cells are always associated with which cells? Sieve tube elements. Why? Because here companion cell is always associated with sieve tube element, but not sieve cell. Why? Because both companion cell and sieve tube element are originated from common cell. What does it mean? Companion. Companion means helpful. The word itself, companion, means what does it mean? Helpful. Which cell helps in translocation of food in sieve tube element means companion cell. Which cells help in maintaining the pressure gradient in sieve tube element? Companion cell. Companion means help. That is the meaning of companion. Okay. Right. Sister cell of companion cell is sieve tube element, but not sieve cell. Sister cell of companion cell is sieve tube element, but not sieve cell. At maturity, the nucleus of companion cell does not disappear. Right. 3 points I would recall, my dear students. At maturity, the nucleus of sieve cell disappears. At maturity, the nucleus of sieve tube element disappears. At maturity, the nucleus of companion cell does not disappear. This is does not disappear. Does not disappear. So, at maturity, the nucleus of companion cell does not disappear. That means the nucleus of companion cell still present from young stage to maturity stage. Okay. So, sister cell of companion cell is sieve tube element, but not sieve cell. At maturity, the nucleus of sieve cell disappear. At maturity, the nucleus of sieve tube element disappear. At maturity, the nucleus of companion cell does not disappear. Okay. So, please note down all these points, my dear students. Now look at here, my dear students. Next one, phloem fibers. This is the only dead component in phloem. The only dead component in phloem is phloem fibers. No need to by heart. Fibers are always dead tissue. That is, sclerenchyma is the dead tissue now. Sclerenchyma is divided into two types, fibers, sclerites. As sclerenchyma is a dead tissue, both fibers and sclerites are also dead tissue. So that is, the only dead component in phloem is phloem fibers. These are elongated, spindle shaped with tapering ends. So the fibers present in phloem are called phloem fibers. Lignified cell walls are present. These are the dead cells now. So that's why secondary cell wall is made up of lignin. So lignified secondary cell walls present. As these are dead cells means lumen is present. The empty space present inside the dead cell is called lumen. So what is a dead cell? The cell without protoplasm is called dead cell. The cell with protoplasm is called living cell. So the cell with protoplasm is called living cell. The cell without protoplasm is called dead cell. Without protoplasm means which one is present? An empty space is present. An empty space present inside the dead cell is called lumen. So lumen is found in phloem fibers. Lumen is found in phloem fibers. At maturity, these are dead cells now. That means they lose their protoplasm. They become dead, but lignified cell walls are present. Lignified cell walls. So this is very, very important. Generally, living cells means cellulosic cell wall is present. These are the dead cells. That's why lignified cell walls are present. Dead component in phloem is phloem fibers. Lignified cell walls are found in phloem fibers. These are sclerenchyma cells. Fibers now phloem fibers. Fibers are the component belongs to sclerenchyma. So that's why these are sclerenchyma cells. Commercial phloem fibers are obtained from. Commercial phloem fibers are jute fibers, flax fibers, hemp fibers. How many types of commercial phloem fibers? Jute fibers, flax fibers, hemp fibers. Jute fibers are obtained from Carchorus plant. Flax fibers are obtained from Linum. Hemp fibers are obtained from cannabis. Okay, so commercial phloem fibers are jute fibers, flax fibers, hemp fibers. Generally, these phloem fibers are absent in primary phloem but present in secondary phloem. Where is the presence of secondary phloem means there the secondary growth occurs. There the secondary growth occurs. So these are found in secondary phloem. Secondary phloem means secondary growth occurs. Where do you find secondary growth? Secondary growth occurs in stems and roots of gymnosperms and dicots. Secondary growth absent in monocots. So that means these phloem fibers generally absent in primary phloem, generally found in secondary phloem. That is, secondary phloem fibers are found in gymnosperms and dicots, absent in monocots. Secondary phloem fibers are called bast fibers. Secondary phloem is also called bast. So that's why secondary phloem fibers are also called bast fibers. So which have commercial value means phloem fibers. Phloem fibers generally not found in primary phloem, generally found in secondary phloem. These phloem fibers generally found in secondary phloem. Secondary phloem is present means secondary growth occurs. Where do you find secondary growth? Two groups, that is gymnosperms and dicots. Which parts? Stem and roots. So secondary growth occurs in stems and roots of gymnosperms and dicots. So that means these phloem fibers generally found in gymnosperms and dicots, absent in monocots. In monocots, secondary growth usually does not occur. Right. Secondary phloem fibers are also called bast fibers. Why? Because secondary phloem is also called bast. Next one, phloem parenchyma. The parenchyma cells in phloem are called phloem parenchyma. Shape, elongated, tapering, cylindrical cells. Elongated, tapering, cylindrical cells. These are absent in most of the monocots like maize. That means what tissues are absent in monocots? Both phloem fibers and phloem parenchyma. This is very, very important, my dear students. Both phloem fibers and phloem parenchyma absent in both phloem fibers and phloem parenchyma absent in monocots. Don't say xylem parenchyma absent in monocots. Xylem parenchyma is present in monocots. Phloem parenchyma is absent in monocots. So both phloem fibers and phloem parenchyma absent in monocots, but xylem parenchyma is present in monocots. Right? Shape means elongated, tapering, cylindrical cells, absent in most of the monocots like maize. Cellulosic cell wall present. Useful for storage of food materials. What are the food materials means? That is starch or fat. Useful for storage of other substances like resins, latex, mucilage. They will ask like this. Phloem parenchyma useful for storage of food materials like resins, latex, mucilage. False. That resins, latex, mucilage are not the food materials. Those are other substances. So phloem parenchyma is useful for storage of food materials and also storage of other substances like resins, latex, mucilage. Similarly, xylem parenchyma is also useful for storage of food materials like starch or fat, other substances like tannins. Here other substances like resins, latex, mucilage. Next, cell walls of phloem parenchyma have cellulose. Later on, secondary cell walls are also formed. So they have secondary cell walls at maturity. Secondary cell walls present means they have pits, but not pit fields. Minute point, both phloem fibers and phloem parenchyma absent in monocots. Phloem parenchyma is of two types, axial parenchyma and ray parenchyma. Okay, they have pits. That is phloem parenchyma cells are interconnected by phloem parenchyma cells connected by pits. Similarly, sieve tube element and companion cells are connected to pit fields. Try to remember these 2 points, my dear students. The sieve tube element and companion cells are connected to pit fields, but not pits. Phloem parenchyma cells are connected to pits, but not pit fields. This is very, very important points. But these points are very, very minute points. Try to remember. The sieve tube element and companion cells are connected to pit fields, but not pits. Why? Because these are living cells. Living cells means primary cell wall is present, no secondary cell wall is present. No secondary cell wall. That's why primary cell wall means, so their pit fields are present, no pits. Here phloem parenchyma at maturity they have secondary cell wall. That's why we have to say here phloem parenchyma cells are connected to pits but not pit fields. Phloem parenchyma is of two types, axial parenchyma, ray parenchyma. Now look at here, my dear students, axial parenchyma, ray parenchyma. The parenchyma cells which are arranged in vertical rows is called axial parenchyma. The parenchyma cells which are present in horizontal rows is called ray parenchyma, which are arranged in vertical rows is called axial, arranged in horizontal rows is called ray parenchyma. Next one, radiating from center. Radiating from center. Next, this is parallel to longitudinal axis of the plant body. This is perpendicular to plant body. What the function of ray parenchyma? Wherever the sound ray is there, ray parenchyma cells useful for radial conduction, also called lateral conduction. Xylem parenchyma and ray parenchyma both are useful for radial conduction or lateral conduction. Wherever that word ray is there, useful for radial conduction, also called lateral conduction, useful for radial or lateral conduction. Okay, right. Primary phloem is of two types, protophloem, metaploem. Proto means first formed phloem is called protophloem, which contains narrow sieve tube elements. Later formed phloem is called metaploem, which contains bigger sieve tube elements. So metaploem contains bigger sieve tube elements. Protophloem contains narrow sieve tube elements. Sieve tube elements are found in angiosperms only. Try to remember, my dear students. Now comparison. Components of xylem and phloem: pteridophyta, gymnosperms, angiosperms. Angiosperms contain two groups, dicots, monocots. Tracheids are found in pteridophyta, gymnosperms, dicots, monocots. So tracheid, the main water conducting elements in pteridophyta, gymnosperms means tracheids. But these tracheids are also present in angiosperms, that is dicots and monocots. Vessels are absent in pteridophyta and gymnosperms. Vessels are found in angiosperms. Angiosperms means dicots and monocots. Presence of vessels is a characteristic feature of angiosperms, that is dicots and monocots. Sieve cells found in pteridophyta, gymnosperms, absent in angiosperms. What is the difference between sieve cells and tracheids? Tracheids are found in angiosperms also, but angiosperms does not contain sieve cells. Sieve cells are absent in angiosperms, dicots and monocots, but tracheids are found in angiosperms also. That is the difference. The main water conducting elements in pterido and gymnosperms. Water conducting elements means tracheids. The main food conducting elements in pteridophyta, gymnosperms means sieve cells. Then what is the difference means? Tracheids are found in angiosperms also. Sieve cells are not found in angiosperms. Sieve cells not found in angiosperms. Next, sieve tubes or sieve tube elements. One sieve tube contains many number of sieve tube elements. These sieve tube elements are absent in pteridophyta and gymnosperms. These are present only in angiosperms, that is dicots and monocots. Next, companion cells. Sister cell of companion cell is sieve tube element. That is, wherever the sieve tube elements are present, there the companion cells are present. Companion cells are absent in pteridophyta and gymnosperms, present in dicots and monocots. Companion cells and sieve tube elements and companion cells found in angiosperms, that is dicots and monocots. Albuminous cells found in gymnosperms. Albuminous cells absent in pteridophyta, found in gymnosperms, absent in angiosperms. Dicots and monocots, albuminous cells are not present. Albuminous cells are found only in gymnosperms. Phloem parenchyma present in pteridophyta, gymnosperms and dicots. In monocots, phloem parenchyma is absent. Why? Because phloem parenchyma is usually absent in monocots. Phloem parenchyma is usually absent in monocots. Next, phloem fibers. Phloem fibers absent in dicots, present in gymnosperms and dicots. Why here we have absent? Phloem fibers usually absent in primary phloem, usually found in secondary phloem. Usually found in secondary phloem means presence of secondary phloem means presence of secondary growth. Where do you find secondary growth? Secondary growth occurs in stems and roots of gymnosperms and dicots. That is, in Pteridophyta, no secondary growth. That's why phloem fibers are absent. Gymnosperms, secondary growth occurs. That's why phloem fibers present. Dicots, secondary growth occurs. That's why phloem fibers present. In monocots, usually secondary growth is absent. That's why phloem fibers are absent in monocots. Now try to listen the common important points, my dear students. Sieve pores found in both sieve cells and sieve tube elements. Next point. Sieve plates found in sieve tube elements. Once again, sieve pores found in both sieve cells and sieve tube elements. Sieve areas found in both sieve cells and sieve tube elements. Sieve plates found in only sieve tube elements, not in sieve cells. What is a sieve plate? A cross wall having sieve pores is called sieve plate. Sieve plates found in sieve tube elements. Sieve cells found in Pteridophyta, gymnosperms. Sieve tube elements found in only angiosperms. Angiosperms only. Companion cells found in angiosperms only. Gymnosperms lack sieve tube elements and companion cells. Gymnosperms have both sieve cells and albuminous cells. Albuminous cells are found in gymnosperms. Albuminous cells are the components of xylem or phloem. Albuminous cells are the components of phloem. The albuminous cells are not the components of xylem. Next, two more important points are there, my dear students. The sieve tube element and companion cells. Sieve tube element and companion cells are connected to pit fields but not pits. Next one. Phloem parenchyma cell walls are connected to pits but not pit fields. At maturity, the sieve cells are enucleated. True. At maturity, the nucleus of sieve tube element. At maturity, sieve tube element is enucleated. True. At maturity, companion cell is enucleated. False. Phloem fibers usually absent in monocots. Phloem parenchyma usually absent in monocots. Phloem fibers which have commercial value. Phloem fibers. These phloem fibers usually not found in primary phloem, generally found in secondary phloem. Albuminous cells found in gymnosperms. Sieve tube elements and companion cells found in angiosperms. Sieve cells found in Pteridophyta and gymnosperms. Albuminous cells found in gymnosperms. Gymnosperms have both sieve cells and albuminous cells. Gymnosperms lack sieve tube elements and companion cells. So please note down all these points, my dear students, and we will meet in the next class.